That's going to be annoying. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the HEX Late Show. I'm the Unwrecked Pirate. I'm going to be doing the show tonight. I'm not sure who's going to be with us. And welcome. I hope you're all doing wonderful wherever you are out in the world. And yeah, what's been going on? I've been getting into the, see that? Stoicism. You know, it's a really good, cognitive brain therapy, all this interesting thing. But no, it's the HEX Late Show, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm the Unwrecked Pirate. I'm the host. I think it was because I'm the only one here at the moment, which is good because I've got my, because day 43 is having the night off, and he's been doing a wonderful job, and I know everyone just tunes in for that. And I've got a custom dyed-in-the-wool Hexagon jersey here. It's from Italy, Castelli. And what else we got to say? Oh, love the sunnies. Yeah, these are like the flipper ones, eh? Look at that. See, so you can see it inside, inside. What do you reckon? Oh, here's Jexer, Mr. Jexer. These are like the flipper ones, eh? Oh.
Hey, how are you, mate? Well, I'm a little bit fuzzy there, am I? Let's see if I can sort that out.
I'm getting a bit of reverb there.
Sorry, bud. This is amateur hour today, isn't it? I've got a fuzzy camera and got the tunes going in the background.
Never claimed to know everything, that's for sure.
How are we going to figure this out? I don't even know why that's doing that.
Sounds all right. No, I looked a bit pale, so I went and put a bit of fake tan on it, just about like 2 seconds at the start, before the start. It's like I left a big brown streak down the side of my cheeks like that.
You got to get better foundation, mate.
I was like, I'm not used to looking at myself. I'm just too busy
I don't know how to fix this. I'm going to be fuzzy for the night. I think I'll have to have a crack at that in a minute. It's all good.
Let's see what's happening over in the chat.
So we haven't got anyone else joining us. Bluey hasn't come in the background there. He's
I'm not sure. I've actually put a couple of the maybe I'll post it into the Discourse Syndicate Network Cutthroats room. I did ask for a offshore navigator at one point, just because we're all here to learn. Just try not to look like a scammer. See, look at me. Don't I look like a scammer?
Welcome to the chat as well. We've got a few of the regulars in there. Steve's always here. Sammy can't join us tonight. I think you've seen her post her little message there. She's not a little bit under the weather. And
what's going on with Sammy? She's not feeling well.
She's a little bit crook. Yeah.
Got a soggy bun for a lonely weenie. Come on.
All right, just give me a sec, mate. I'm going to sort out my camera. It's giving me a little bit of the willy, so just give me one moment. I'll see if I can.
I dragged my balls through a mile of broken glass, followed by a mile of hot coals, just to chase the laundry truck that might have your dirty underwear on board. You like that one? No.
Just give me. Oh, sorry, mate. I'm not.
Yeah, you do. You think I was like, I'll just go and do a Marcus Aurelius quote. You have the power over your mind, not outside events. Realise this, and you will find strength. So yeah, we just showed up, and all
right, we're back on track. I feel I can see things now.
Knows what they're talking about. That's good.
Cool.
And I'll just listen.
All right, mate. I wanted to get your feelings. I've seen you posted something in our private chat. What's your take on? I've tried to avoid this, but what's your take on all the community interaction on Twitters and things like that? What's your feels?
Oh, yeah, well, obviously got some bias towards it, but it's pretty. It's right to me. There's a hypocrisy there where we've spoken to Shen Talk and people in Africa and places all over the world about how great the HEX product is, and the people that are living under the poverty line, and see what we've got is, awesome. I actually just got a dishwasher, and it was like it's a big deal, and if they get a mobile phone, that's a big deal. And then you see like And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm going to look at myself and criticise before I place anything on anyone else. But gee, I don't know. The tweets from Richard Hart seem off. A little bit off peak for me.
Okay, I don't want to call anyone out specifically because I think that doesn't.
Well, he's the founder of. There's too much going on. And
so without calling anyone out,
I want to walk away from it and then come back and make a decision, not about.
There is one person. There is one person I want to mention, and that's Kyler. So I don't know if anyone's been following him on Twitter, and he posted out a little message, and maybe we can bring it up later. Basically, just asking for. Yeah, he was basically just asking for the community just to rally together instead of bitching and moaning and infighting.
Yeah, that's it.
Which I tend to agree with. So good on him for coming out and saying that. And I'll paraphrase what he said. He's a young guy, so he's basically looking across it. He said, "I'm looking at all these grown men infighting, and it's not a great look for the community." And I think anyone that has been on Twitter the last few months has got to agree.
Yeah, it's not a fun place. So, I mean, crypto's really hard at the moment. It's not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, prices down. Everyone's feeling it.
I get that. Totally wrecked. I had to just burn through all that Hedron that I had.
I understand. So everyone's picking sides, and that's fine. I don't want to get into the who's right and who's wrong. It's just if you're a new person coming into Hex,
choose not to be harmed.
If that's what you see on Twitter, it's not a great look. So that's
probably what that sentiment goes straight into the price. There's just going to be the line where they're never going to come to their terminal type situation. So you just got to choose not to be harmed, and you won't be harmed, and don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. So I mean, Hex is doing still 100% uptime, triple ordered security. I haven't even looked on Twitter. I barely go on there. I went on there today and yesterday just to sort of just to sort of gauge the sentiment. And boy, oh boy, I didn't even the little snippets that I saw. I sort of focused in on the founder, Richard Hart, because he's been obviously all the stuff, and he's been like some of that stuff that he was saying. I felt like saying, mate, say that to my face. Will you come over here and say that to my face, and I'll tell you what I think of it, because it's nothing good.
RH is going pretty hard at the moment. He's having a crack at everyone. I get why he's doing that. He's trying to garner
pump our bags instead.
He's trying to garner focus and attention. So I totally get that. That's you can see that there's a reason behind that, but a lot of the stuff that's going on in the community is just pure infighting, which is not. That's a different thing, and I think we just got to be careful. We started off with an awesome culture in Hex, and that was a culture of everyone helping each other, everyone chipping in and doing this as a community. And I don't want to lose that. Like, it's hard to build a really good culture when we had it, and I hope we don't. I hope it's not like that just when it's all-time highs. Like we've.
That's right. So, I mean, the best revenge is for Richard Hart. He obviously wants the accolades. He wants the glories. The big swinging dick of whatever. So, but choose not to be. The best revenge is to not be like your enemy. And look what he's doing. He's being like a gallivanting around, show ponying out there, trying to fix. I don't know. There's probably a deeper meaning. There's probably deeper strategies. There's like 4D chess, 5D chess going on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I actually don't have an issue with what Rich is doing. I totally get.
I don't either. No, good on him. Whatever floats your boat, mate.
He's been.
If you don't like it, don't look at it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's as simple as that. I don't. It's just strange. I guess it's just seemed out of character.
Yeah. I think that he's firing a few shots across the bows of people like. Alex Mashinsky, which I think is
well, they're justifiable because that's fair enough, and he's doing that properly. But the last one I saw, he was like, anyway, I don't even, as I said, we don't need to talk about that. We just need to just move forward and as you say, unite, and attitude of gratitude. And I've been watching there's a new thing on Discourse Syndicate now. There's like an hour compressed content, and that's really good. That keeps me up to speed, because otherwise I don't get time to watch the streams or anything now. So I don't know really what's going on. I choose to ignore it anyway, because I'm going from like stake to stake, so I don't even look at the computer. I don't need to. I don't even want to turn it on, really. except when I'm like, just sort of like see what's going on with the gains if I need some money out in the real world.
Okay, let's get the feel for everyone in chat. Have we had a bottom or a bit more to go? What's everyone thinking? Just in general, in the market in general. So we've seen Bitcoin recover a bit today, and everything sort of followed off the back of that. What's the sentiment out there now? Have we got further to go, or is that the bottom? Be interesting to see. Almost there. Yep.
Not another fake out. I don't know. Gee whiz. I mean, I've been wrong every week. So man, it's just like, maybe I'm in that. What is the phase that's below anger? It's anger, despair. Maybe I'm in the despair phase as myself.
After anger? I think it was depression.
Depression. That's it. Depression. I've got that. I need therapy. Seriously.
All right, hang on.
Green can do therapy.
Actually, while we're thinking that, I'll bring up the chart, because that'll be interesting to have a bit of a look at. But just give me 1 second, mate. I literally downloaded the other day. I thought, I'm going to check this out, just see if we can get a feel. Where have I put it? Here we go. I'll put this up on a share.
Tolerant with others and strict with yourself. There you go.
What was that? Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Was that from the chat? Was it?
No, this is all. I'm just everyone out there is wondering what I'm wondering about with these the Greek and Roman philosophers. Philosophers, Stoicism and that. Very
Marcus Aurelius and
it keeps you calm and centered when you in times of like so. All
right, mate, you gonna pop that up on the screen?
Right. Here we go.
I don't know if we can make that a bit bigger or not.
Bigger.
Can we push off to the side, maybe? There we go. All right. So, yes, I think we've seen a little bit of anger. I don't know whether we're reading that right or not. I guess there's a few people be looking at their portfolios. I don't know if they're in depression or not yet.
Because you were saying over here last week, I was thinking, all that is that like, is how long is the scale? Like, does that, because that looks like a long way to get through.
So are we at this point here, this panic, capitulation, anger? Where you think we are?
Hey boys.
Hey,
g'day, Bluey. How you going?
How's it going?
I think we're just talking about where we think we are in terms of the current market as a whole. And we've seen Bitcoin. It's had a pretty good rally last day, and I think people are getting a little bit excited. I don't know whether. Do you think we've had enough pain for a bottom of a market, or do you think we've got a little bit more to go?
For Bitcoin and Ethan, probably
just in general, like the market in general. Because it's affected everyone, HEX included.
Yeah, HEX is bouncing around though. I don't know. It's different. It behaves
there's other things going on. Yeah, and I was going to talk on that in a minute. There's definitely other things going on. In HEX.
I was feeling angry today, but I don't know it's related to the chart. I'll try to like soon. I'm like the Tassie deal, just going like going nuts, like crazy. Anyway.
I'm not quite sure where we sit. It would, to me, for this to be a bottom on Bitcoin, would feel like we've gotten out of it pretty lightly. Is the general feel I feel at the moment. But in saying that, we didn't have a massive blow off top either. So do you think the market's matured enough so that we don't get those massive blow off tops and the big 84%, 85% dumps anymore on Bitcoin?
I think
from here we're already down. What's the Bitcoin down now? Like 50% at least, or something? Is it? Or it's around 30, 40. What did you say? The price of Bitcoin?
It's a bit up. 31.8.
31.8. Okay, so it's still.
Yep. It's actually, it's really good just to look in the chat and the comments. We're seeing like a lot of people say we're seeing depression, panic, anger. Some people are saying denial still. Whew. So it's clear that it's really, really hard to get a gauge on where the market is and where it's going to go. And that's what makes these markets so tricky to predict, is everyone feels their own little anguish and pain on the way down, but it's how the market comes together collectively that forms that real bottom.
Yeah.
I think we've seen a capitulation in HEX. Would you think, or there was a pretty big candle
HEX
doesn't
doesn't behave like the other cryptos. That's certainly that's not true. In a sense, but it's still obviously subject to the macro and the world events and things like that that's going on. So,
HEX might move a little bit differently, but it still has the chart still does the same thing. We get the same sort of drawbacks. We form bases again. We have accumulation zones. So we do the exact same thing. We probably just do it in a little bit different a time frame.
So is it accumulation zone now for people coming in? But you got to weigh up the risk. It's not financial advice, but if you got dry powder as a good buying opportunity and you're still filling your bags, wow, that's where I'd be. But see, I'm on the other side going, I don't want to sell this at all. Come on, fork, like what? I don't know. It's like, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been nice, but I had no expectations when PulseChain would come out. This is the first time I've had to sit through something like this, but that's for sure. But fun times. Otherwise, what else? What's been going on? Just trying to live my best life, I suppose. I went into a coffee shop the other day, just a couple of days ago. I went in there, and this bloke goes, "Oh, what, did you just come from the Tour de France, did you?" And I said, "Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I have actually." I said, "I was retired, but I'm in a support group. I just the older I get, the faster I was, type of thing." And he's like, because I think he was trying to chat up the barista. He's trying to have it, and then I went out, and then I had to go back in, and then he goes, "You're from the circus," trying to put me down in front of, to make himself look big to the girl, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you from the Ronald McDonald School for Clowns. You were in my class, weren't you?" "Yeah, that's right. Because my dad had a 3-ring circus, him and 2 other assholes, and you were in that." And then he just said, "No, come back." He had a guitar. He was playing a guitar, so it was good. I said, "What, did you have a jam down here?"
You're pulling out the old Rodney Rood jokes on him by the sounds of it.
Oh, mate, you got to recycle. You got to recycle things from time to time and try to change the words a little bit to make them original. As you can.
I don't think there'd be too many people out.
I don't
think there'd be too many people outside of Australia that would know of Rodney Rood. That's probably a good thing.
Or from our age group as well.
Funny. So someone just mentioned to have a look at the liquidity on Uniswap. I think they were saying. Has anyone been keeping an eye on that?
The HEX USDC.
Yeah.
Not really. No.
Yeah, it's,
someone told me it's been pulled or
I found some lowdown. Yeah, it has. So apparently there's 2 of the whale wallets that are dumping.
It sounds like the people providing liquidity though are kind of a
they
little
pulled
bit
liquidity as well.
All over the
they
top.
pulled it. Yeah, they pulled it.
Well, so if you had an inkling that there might be a fork happening, what would you do with your liquidity?
Yeah, you'd pull it off before
take it out.
Yeah.
Yep. No, you can share that screen if you like.
But they're doing all sorts of crazy shit. They're doing very illogical shit over these liquidity providers. Some of them are just way out of range. There's some weird stuff going on there. I'm not sure.
The price can go up or down.
And we saw that really big one pull all of it and then dump it for 30% slippage or whatever.
Yeah. So TVL's 12 there, 5. So that must be just on the. Is that right? Is that just on the hex side?
Well, you have to look at the 1%, the 0.3%.
Well, that's I think this does the whole lot, though, doesn't it?
No, I don't think it does.
I thought it's looked at the whole lot. So 8.
Oh, is that's the hex coin? Is it? Maybe it does.
Yeah, that's for the hex coin. So that's, and then you've got all the pools below.
So it adds it all. It adds them all up for you. I thought it didn't, and that's why it was annoying.
Because look at this one, because it's just the USDC one that's got 12 mil, so that'd be combined. So maybe that's taking the hex side.
I think Dex Screener might
do a better job.
Yeah, I mentioned.
So let's see how much hex that is. If we give me a second.
So what have you been up to, Bluey? What's going on over there?
Oh, well, guess where I was last night. I went out to dinner with Patrick and Gary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wow.
That's really
high
nice.
rollers, eh? Rubbing shoulders with the high rollers, eh?
Yeah.
That's the go.
Rubbing shoulders. Yeah. And and then went to Patrick's apartment last night. Checked it out. I'm going to be probably staying there for a bit. And he lives in a pretty awesome view, like of.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're back in the US, are you?
No, in Colombia.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, so right. if I've got this right, that's saying 106 million hex in there. Not sure if this shows...
sounds about right.
So how are we going over there with oh wait, I wonder if Tanger's going to arrive tonight, because he's been badgering that Richard Hart to get into a debate with him, and even some of the more high profile hexagons have been saying, hey, give him a Guernsey, and I've been saying give him a Guernsey, and it's I know Richard Hart's busy and important and all this, but you don't just ignore your followers and go after clickbait from whatever by abusing other people. I don't think that's very nice. I mean, how did those tweets help? Anyway, how do they help?
Have you guys heard about?
You got to change. You got to change yourself. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Have you guys been? Have you heard about what Dipcatcher is planning?
No.
I only saw a couple of tweets of his. I saw another token, another coin.
So what's the gist on that one?
I mean, he released a Twitter Spaces. There was a Twitter Spaces, and he kind of explained his idea. It's not fully fleshed out, but basically, it sounds like people can burn Maxi for this team token, and this team token receives a payout from these other projects that they're going to be launching. The first one of which is like a 1-year rolling stake that you can kind of put hex into or pull hex out of every year.
Sorry, say that again, mate. I was just sending a link to Tangent. You can...
Yeah, I'll send it.
So there's this, you can burn Maxi, which is like a pretty full-on thing.
Yeah.
And then you get this team token. And the team token gets you a dividend of these other projects that the Maxi team are going to be doing.
So it's more like a DAO sort of thing.
Well, the thing is, you're burning Maxi though, so it's not like they're getting the money. You're just burning Maxi.
So how
are everyone else? You're just making everyone else's Maxi more valuable.
Yeah, but how are they going to give you other tokens?
Contracts. It gets airdropped to people with those tokens. And so, and the first one is this 1-year rolling stake that you can take out or put into every year. Anybody can take out or put into every year.
Yeah, well, I reckon these are really interesting financial products that you're talking about. Louis. They're really good bolt-ons, eh? It's nice to have a good set of.
Where can we find out more about that, Louis? Is that just
the only thing that's been released so far is the Twitter Spaces on Dip. I think it's on Dip Catcher's. There's more information to come out, obviously. Like it's still kind of like getting people to burn Maxi. They're going to have to come up with something very enticing.
So just going back on the Uniswap pools, it's saying there's 47 million hex.
Here's our lead debater. Tangent has arrived in the building.
Yo.
So 47 million hex in total for sale on the open market.
Yeah, mate.
All good. I just caught the end of that, and my main comment with all this stuff that's coming out now is tech stack risk. Every single time we go more derivative, more meta, you are inserting additional tech stack risk into the idea. And then if you go far enough, it only takes one of those projects to have a problem and you've lost everything. So just be effing careful with all of these, you know?
Well, so that's the same similar thing that's happened with UST.
Stick to the good ones, eh?
A lot of DAOs and things were holding UST and staking in Anchor. So that wipes out fair chunk of your cash that was in that DAO. I said this a few weeks ago. It's going to happen on PulseChain where we do all that rehypothecation because there's all these different staking protocols, and then we've got the fiat guys are building their stuff. So there is going to be this, I guess, cross-pollination, for want of a better word, where you're taking tokens from one project, putting them in another one. It's bound to happen, and like you say, Tangent, there's probably going to be there'll be an incident. It has to be. Like we're moving at a pretty fast pace, and everyone's trying their best to do everything the right way, but sometimes unexpected things happen. So you're right.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying. That's another point actually that I wasn't even commenting on, is it could be deliberate. Like it could be deliberate or accidental. You could have a deliberate attempt to scam people or an accidental bug. And so
the thing that gives me confidence though is, for now, like the projects that are being built now, everyone's got the same core ethos where they want pure DeFi and they don't want all the admin keys. So don't underestimate how important that is going to be. Like, I think PulseChain is going to be one of the best chains in terms of DeFi products because everyone's building them to an expectation. Like the community, the broader Hex and Pulse community won't accept less than what they're used to in general. Yeah. But look, all other people are going to come across as well, so that'll change.
Freddie Quotes had an interesting tweet, like an important tweet, where he said, don't ever forget that these people that you're interacting with are strangers on the internet. So just because you've classed all these people as hexagons, there will be a subset of that group who try to exploit you, might not be doing things in your best interest, that sort of thing. And I replied saying, the fundamental ethos of crypto is don't trust, verify. It's like that should be your default position. And it's not to say that you can't interact with the community in a loving, respectful way. It's not like you have to treat everyone like an enemy and just be like hostile, but you have to have an adversarial mindset. Those two things are completely different.
Yeah. And if anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. The truth is what I'm after, and the truth never hurt anyone. That's it.
Boom.
Because, I mean, otherwise, we're just wasting everyone's time being here. If we can't get down to the nitty-gritty and have the real conversation. Isn't that right?
Yep. Yeah, Unrect, I've been loving your drive for discussion and honesty and truth.
Oh, mate, I had to walk away. I was ropeable, when I saw some of that stuff today. I was ropeable. But anyway, I just don't think you talk to someone face to face that what you put in a tweet. Like,
What happened?
Imagine that. Oh, imagine going up to someone in the street and saying, "Guess what? I'm the richest motherfucker. I've got a big fucking wang. Here it is. Look, oh no, you think that's my leg, do you? No, shit like that. Like, can you imagine that? You get a punch in the face and dragged out straight up. You don't do that
that's
sort
why.
of shit. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's rude, mate. It's
Yes.
just pure rude. And then
someone would put you in a chokehold.
You know, you won't even like saying like you're saying, "Hey, mate, I will have a conversation. Let's have a debate." And you're in the community, and you're out here like, getting people to write the right crypto investments and things like that, and through your experience and knowledge.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, Unrec, because we've seen that play out in the earlier days where before Twitter was the main public square where everyone was yelling at each other.
Yeah.
A lot of the interaction used to happen in the Telegram groups, and you see people get really rolled up in Telegram and start spitting fire, and then a month later or so they'd be on a stream together, and when they're face to face on a stream together, the whole nother level of respect, and then back in Telegram they go, "Yeah, sorry man, now that I've had a chance to chat to you and all that, they'd apologise." And so I think people
that's what it's all about. Freedom of speech.
Tone is very difficult to convey in text. It's so difficult, man. So sometimes people will think that someone's being rude to them and it's actually not, or vice versa. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can leave right now, or let determine what you do and think and say about it. I mean, that's the thing about our, the power of our thoughts. Our thoughts lead us to where to the quality of our life, I suppose. But anyway, well, that one did get work. But see, it's bait too. See, because like there was one the other day. It was in HEX Plebs, and it was from that BitBoy clown, and it was saying.
Oh.
Yeah, and I took the bait, hook, line, and sinker, and I was starting to like that, and then I was like, "Oh, hang on a minute, I'm the idiot now." To see what I mean? Like I'm the moron for doing that because it was actually a Bitcoin chart, not a HEX chart.
Oh yeah.
From BitBoy. He's actually getting a little bit funnier, and he's obviously siding a lot more with Richard in some of his views and the narratives that have been out there, and like he's responsible for pushing a lot of the shit in the earlier part of the cycle, but maybe a bit of Richard's I guess his honesty is starting to rub off on some of these influences. Hopefully,
I often hear influencers saying things that sound like almost direct quotes of shit that Richard has said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they must have, it might even be subconscious, but they must have heard him or a Hexagon saying it. And they've gone, that is true. And then they've made that their own belief and they are parroting it, whether they realize it or not. One recently was Technical Roundup. They were talking about like altcoin cycles and that sort of thing. And most of the things they were saying don't apply to HEX, but it was just real. But it was sort of Richard Hart level commentary,
Yeah. And I think so. There's obviously Unrec just threw a few comments up on the screen. Obviously, when people have got a vested interest financially, they'll change their tune as well. And we all know that probably Crypto Ran and BitBoy. We know BitBoy has sacrificed. I'm sure Crypto Ran probably had a crack at it as well. I think who else was there? There was a couple of others that
Ivan.
Put their hand up. Ivan.
Rand's going to get his portfolio saved by PulseChain,
Yeah.
Because he didn't just invest in Luna. He invested deep into the whole ecosystem because he believed in Luna so hard that he was investing in products built in that ecosystem, and they all got wrecked. So.
Yeah, right.
He would have lost a lot of money on paper, like serious dollars. It would have been easily in the millions. It might have even been in the tens of millions.
The general feel I get is people have they've watched Richard and he's been pretty brash, and they all thought it was a scam, and now nothing's happened. There's been no rug. Code's been solid. Community's good and gets out there and really backs him. And
they're still coming out though. Did you see they're still coming out?
There's a certain type of person that's coming out, but all the altcoiners and everyone that's not a maxi, they're getting more comfortable with it. You've seen things like Luna. There's been just hack after exploit. Shit has just fallen down around us through this whole bull market, and now everyone's gone, maybe this ain't so bad.
You know what I find interesting is when people post old school clips of Richard, ones that I've long forgotten about, where the sentiment is still hardcore in my mind, but I forget sometimes because there's so many positive things about Hex that you just can't keep them all in your mind at once, right? And so someone will post a clip and I'm like, God damn, this mofo is so right and was saying that shit back, back.
Mm-hmm. So the latest FUD we're seeing is obviously he's firing up all the maxis at the moment, and that's where he's getting a lot of his engagement from.
Nice.
Is the Bitcoin guys is what you can see, and I mean they're still. We've seen something with Max Kaiser and stuff on it the other day, and they're still parroting stuff that's not even true, like the Panama thing.
Bro. I just need one of these big name maxis to come on the stream with me and sit there silently while I debate Richard. That's all they need to do. They just need to come and be there so that Richard will say yes to the debate and I will do all the work. So if we can get one of these maxis to just agree to be on the stream, and obviously I'd share with them my notes beforehand so they can see. Is
that a Hex maxi?
No, a Bitcoin maxi. Bitcoin maxi. I need a big name Bitcoin maxi to just agree to be the draw card, so that then it's like worth doing, worth watching.
So it's worth doing because he gets the critical mass of the eyeballs.
You won't. I think,
and they can chime in if they want, but I'm going to be doing the bulk of the heavy lifting.
I don't think you're going to get anyone on there.
You're our champion.
If they could see my script, they would agree to do it. I guarantee you that. I guarantee if one of these maxis could see my script, they would be all in. They would be with me.
And then the whole lot will just fold like a pack of cards, and then they'll all be like, Hex will be the new flavor on the block. And then
they're called maxis.
Mass adoption will then ensue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. It's not.
It's a tough path. It's a tough path.
Yeah. It's hard. Here we go. We're up against it.
I unfortunately all the maxis.
I died in the wall.
Any maxis that had any level of like respect for me at all, I burnt that bridge because when they see someone promoting a shitcoin, they just write them off. Oh, we've lost another one to the shitcoin forest. They're gone. They're dead. They're not coming back.
Even Bitcoin will be on deadcoins.com one day, so that's fine.
It's funny you said that exact wording there because that was what Max Kaiser and who are the other two guys that were on with him?
I remember seeing the photo. It was three guys, right? It was Max.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was now. But that was their exact comment was he used that, and they were referring to Richard. He used to be our best speaker. He used to really talk well about Bitcoin, and we lost him. That was the way they're talking.
So to give you guys the context, though, they have been right about 100% of coins up until Hex. So pretty much. Some people argue ETH.
Really, is that true?
Some people argue ETH. Some people argue ETH. But every other, yes, that is true. Every other coin that has ever been popular had positive following and has come up into the top 10 is no longer there. Like they could even argue that happened to Hex, that it came into the top 10 and then went out. But that's temporary. Like we're going to be back in there in no time.
And that was manipulated as well.
Yeah, and that's there are reasons behind that are actually legitimate. But so in their minds, they've got this ossified mindset now where they're like, I've seen it all before. Every time one of these coins claims to be the next Bitcoin, it's just total garbage and it's just all hype and it's all a scam. And so they've got research fatigue. They can't be bothered looking at these projects anymore because they've looked at 1,000+ of them that have come and gone and been actual pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen some of the white papers.
So I want to give you guys the mindset of a maxi, so you can see that they're not trying to be assholes towards HEX.
I totally get it.
It's from their experience. They're basing it on their experience.
So
There's been tons of successes though.
They should have worn condoms.
List them. Apart from ETH,
ETH's the only one.
List me them, Blue Bomb.
Yeah,
I think
There's none. There's zero. There's zero.
Avalanche is an interesting. I mean, there's lots of technically interesting stuff that's gone on.
I do. I'll admit, I do like AVAX, but it's still in its first cycle, man. Like it's still. I'm not.
I guess you could argue HEX is too. But I'm not even talking about like you're kind of like saying if something gets into the, if its market cap is high enough to get into the top 10, that's your argument for whether it's succeeded or not. But I think there have been tons of other successes.
No, I didn't mean I didn't mean that. Like as in, that's not really what I said. I was just giving it an example of the sorts of things they're seeing. I'm not saying that is what, because obviously we know market cap is nonsense. That does not legitimize a project having a high market cap. But it is an indicator, and they see them come and go, and it's one of the things they point to. They point to the top 10, and they're like, go on Google's Wayback Time Machine and look at the top 10 each year, all the way back to the very start. And every time it is completely different. It was like Feathercoin and Peercoin and Litecoin, and then it was like these other things. And then ETH is probably, like Litecoin's not even in there anymore. ETH is probably the only one that's had like a long period of staying.
My point is, market cap is just a bad metric to discern success.
It is and it isn't. Like it's still
more
something.
than 15 minutes
since something. Like,
can you believe that?
Like, let's just say. So this is one of those things. Being high in market cap doesn't prove something's legit, but if something comes up in market cap and then gets fucking wrecked and it's not even in the top 100, it was a pump and dump, right? Like, so it doesn't prove it necessarily that being high in market cap equals legit, but it certainly proves that it was a piece of shit if it just came and went and never came back again. Right?
But there's been projects that have
truth seekers. Wouldn't you go where the money is? I'll just follow the money. Follow the money. Like,
there's been plenty of good tech, but it just hasn't had the adoption. Like the shininess wears off, and people are in it for the money, and it just never goes anywhere. And that's what they've.
Well, this is game changer. That's why.
Time and time again. So the conversation I had with someone on Twitter the other day, I was a Bitcoin guy, and he's saying exactly what you said. Then his comment was just another shitcoin sort of thing, and I went and had a look at his profile, and this guy had. Got into Bitcoin really, really early, was mining on his PC. So was fortunate enough to get in really early. And I looked through his story, and for him it was something he discovered, and he took a chance and had an open mind on it. And so rather than going with a whole bunch of venom and spite, I was just trying to have a chat with him and said, well, like, you got into Bitcoin for a reason, and that was because you were willing to open your mind up and have a look at something
and take
different.
A chance.
Yeah.
What have you got in the background there, Tangent? What is in the background there, mate?
Hang on, Rick. So
it's like a cannon for the jelly wrestling. Hey.
Yeah. So I was just trying to say, don't close your mind off, because that's when you'll do yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
And I know that's hard because, like you said, they think they've seen it all before. Sometimes things are a bit different. You just got to, they'll miss out if they don't have that open mind.
They're going to learn, man. People are going to learn that HEX is legit. And it's a matter of time, right? It's going to be irrefutable once we're in the future and it's been around longer and has not died. Obviously, the cognitive dissonance within the crypto space is also out of control. So there will be some people who can
decide to
continue to deny it,
or they can win. Yeah.
But it's funny. Like, we're seeing a few comments like from established people lately, and they're making
within the HEX community.
Like Bitcoin.
Outside. Yep.
Like Jameson Locke, and and it's just like, what really? You're gonna pull out the same tired old character assassinations from 2 years ago?
Look at that.
Like, they're gonna
the portal from Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Tangents from the future. That's right.
Fuck yes.
Hey, you know what? I know if you go 555 5 days from the launch of HEX. It is the I think it's 16th of September 2004. So I thought of it back then. I was thinking about this thing that could just earn that was immutable code and earn trustless interest and replace all the banks and middlemen and things like that. It was just an idea I had when I was down at the skate bowl. Anyway.
I saw a tweet that made me laugh /
If you
smile.
believe that. Yeah.
It was you know how you use those remind me bots on Twitter so that you don't have to remember to come back and school someone. You just use the remind me bot and then it'll remind you of that thread if you're confident that you're going to be right in the future. I did one where I was like, remind me in 1 month or whatever, and someone put remind me in 15 years. And I thought that was like hilarious because obviously the 555 state, like it was basically saying remind me right at the end of this state.
Nice.
Can't you download? Can't you put them in the calendar or something? You can put them into like your Outlook calendar. The you and your stake send
tweets.
Can't you?
I don't use Outlook.
So it's one of those aggregate sites like GraphHex.rocks or something like that. You can download the CSV or you can download the file, the JSON file, and just whack it into your calendar so that you know.
Nice.
If you can,
nice.
If you don't track your stakes or whatever in HEX. But,
Tangent. Are we gonna have another bull market cycle come and go and no more Mount Gox coins for you?
Bro, so I thought you were about to ask a different question. I thought you were about to ask like where the market's going. So I've given up, man. I've given up.
That's
like
feels like it, eh?
Every time we've been heading towards like real parabolic shit. So towards 20K in 2017, towards 60K in like 2021 or whatever it was. When we've been ramping up like that and I can see shit's going parabolic, I'm like, if these motherfuckers don't give me back my Bitcoin, I swear I'm going to be literally murderous. I'm going to be hiring assassins. And then it comes and goes and I'm just like, man. So, and now I guess, because we're just sideways, I don't even know whether we're going up or down. I'm not as stressed about it. I get stressed when we're going parabolic. I'm like, give me my coins. Give me my coins. I'm not going to dump all of them, but I would definitely sell a bit. Like I want to be in control. I just want to be in control.
So the best thing
feels better when it's going up, doesn't it?
The best thing that probably could happen for that release would be at the bottom of a cycle.
It's not a bad point. Yeah. A bit like what Richard says about you don't want to be giving people like unloading coins on people where they can extract maximum amount of economic energy out of the system. Yeah, 100%. You're right.
So maybe there is someone that's.
I will take that selfless attitude, man. Even though obviously for me personally, that's not as good. Yep.
Hypothetically speaking, if do you reckon Richard Hart, if he was to if he got lucky with one of those two girls, I haven't watched any of those streams by the way. Do you reckon one of those girls would let him? After he's been bragging about the big size of his cock and everything?
I sort of perceive that they would be keeping shit professional. No. I'm basing that on nothing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a gut feel.
So she's friend zoned straight up.
Look, like Richard's a smart guy, and you know that, that Australian saying, "Don't shit in your own nest. Don't shit where you eat." It's
Don't screw the crew.
There's like a million girls out there he can sleep with. It's like, are you gonna sleep with chicks that could potentially it causes an issue because you're doing business shit with them?
If she's a playboy.
I mean, yes.
Of course.
Look, if they're down, he's definitely down. I know that sounds like I just contradicted myself.
You can't go around saying you're big PP and everything.
I know I just hard
chin wow with a Playboy model and not like get one away. Take one for the team. What's wrong with that? I would.
I mean, look, we're testing his own theory in real time. He says that females look for significance and a guy's ability to prove that they have the resources to look after them and their offspring. So if he has made an accurate psychological assessment of females in general, then they would be down to hook up. do you know what I mean? Like, as in, so we're looking at a real-time example of his own sci-fi theories. We should ask him. We'd be like, yo, was sci-fi right, bro? Did Did all the
Photos
money
or
in
it
the
didn't
world
happen.
get you?
Photos or it didn't happen.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Show us your cock, mate. If you want to talk that loud about how big your cock is, let's have a look.
Yes. Yeah. Don't trust, verify. I think some people have already said that to him, like when he's been making live, with the Eric Wall debate and stuff. I think some people were saying, you don't need to whip it out in front of everyone. You just need to whip it out in front of someone, like, and get them to.
Yeah, that's right.
Get a doctor to verify it.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
An
Someone's
oracle.
saying, get a doctor.
We need
to
an oracle.
verify.
Yeah.
Isn't it Oracle?
You can't trust that one doctor. You're gonna have to go to several because so it can be.
Yes, it's the same as the Oracle problem. We've got another Oracle problem. We'd need to get enough doctors so that he can't pay them all off. And with the amount of money he has, that's all the doctors in the world. And like people don't trust doctors anymore now, because of Fauci. But
Oh, well.
Any interesting comments?
Yeah, look, that's right. We should get a Super Hex win, of course. Everyone knows Super Hex win over on TikToks. He's a winner. This bloke. He's in
Sammy, we're just joking around. I agree with Sammy. Like, as in, I agree with Sammy that Richard would be very respectful. Like,
yeah, I know. I'm probably the one that's a bit little, go and sit in the naughty corner, Johnny, or something, for saying something inappropriate. Like. Just because
Spenny's got a version of my quote. Don't dip the pen in company ink.
Yeah, I've seen that
one. I've hooked up with my personal assistant twice, like 2 different PAs, and got away with it. But my friends were like,
at the same time,
you are
was it?
insane. No. No, I only have one PA at a time. So, and look, one of them was actually an X, so that doesn't really count. Like if you fuck your PA, but she's an X, that doesn't count. But the other one, like it's a high risk. It's a high risk move regardless.
So you got your extra job as your PA.
Crypto's risky.
Yeah, it was a situation that I can't get into in detail, but there was a couple of really big reasons why I allowed that to happen. Typically, I would not hire an X as a PA. It was there were two big reasons why I did it.
Mm. What's it like having a PA?
It's dope.
Awesome.
I actually kind of need one now because I keep forgetting what I'm meant to be doing, like socially. So I almost need a PA now more than when I had a business. That's the truth.
Well, you got to utilize your time effectively.
I always had a rule with people that I would hire as my PAs. I would say, you are going to need to do shit that's not necessarily what you would expect the traditional role to be. And I'm not talking about sex stuff. I'm like, well, that too. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, like, I might need them to do shit for my personal life that simply saves me time and keeps me able to keep working. So the role was more to save my time than to necessarily be doing things that are associated with the business. But I never asked them to like cook or clean. Or actually, with my ex, I did get her to cook for me. But
hang on a minute. That's a bit of a misnomer what you've just said.
But the idea was to save
your
my
ex-girlfriend
time.
was your personal assistant as well. So that's probably why the relationship didn't, probably.
This is going back a fair
close
bit.
to in each other's pocket.
Yeah, it wasn't a terribly good idea, but like it was necessary.
No. Let's get back to crypto.
Let's get back to crypto. Everyone knows the risks of banging your PA and that you shouldn't do it. We don't need to go into detail. So are there any questions about crypto in here that we can address?
Have a look in the private chat, mate.
Have you guys had the Maxi debate yet?
No, that's what I was wondering. Do you want to? I've got that spreadsheet. I don't know if I had a chance to have a look at it.
I am so confident that I'm going to be proven right on this with time.
What's that? What's your thesis?
Well, I actually shut it down pretty hard in a single tweet. I was like, the reason it is called a premium is because it is a higher price than what it is worth. So by definition, I am right about this. Like premiums can't exist and accelerate or increase forever. They have to come back. Like,
but over
so
what?
People, so,
but
so
it's over the
so
what?
every,
over what period?
Every
Was
argument that everyone has thrown out at me, saying, no, this is the reason why Maxi is overextended over 1-to-1 hex or whatever. All of them, none of them are valid. None of them are valid. They are all talking about shit that is not valid. Like, it's as simple as underlying value premium. It's literally that. It's literally that simple. Like, so whenever anyone starts to say, oh, but you haven't factored in this. Yes, I have factored those things in. Like, clearly I've factored in the fact that at the end of the stake, it's going to have this, and it also generates the Hedron and blah, blah, blah. That's what is incorporated into the underlying for at the current point in time.
I don't.
So, Jackson, you said you had a
so a couple of things.
on...
First of all, I don't disagree with you, and this is not about Maxi bashing. I just want to. It's a good thing to have a chat.
No, yeah. Like, I'm not anti-Maxi. I own it. I think it's great. I just think the premium's
with
too
something
insane.
like the Bitcoin, the Grayscale Bitcoin Fund or something like that. Is there a limited amount people can buy into that? I'm assuming there's no limit, so people can just keep loading the boat on that if they want. If there's demand, people can keep loading the boat, and that's why you see the premium go up. So So with Maxi, there is some supply limit.
There is.
So,
there's going to be no more.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right
so there's a supply limit issue there. Which does that exist in other funds when they're like a Bitcoin fund or something like that? Is that?
So I need to be real clear about this, because I think this is the thing that people are missing. With all of those other instruments, you cannot accurately calculate the underlying value. So with, say, the Bitcoin Trust, with GBTC, you can't calculate what the underlying is worth in dollars, because Bitcoin like goes up and down and shit. All you can tell is that there's a premium over what the actual Bitcoin is worth. And eventually that premium did fade and went actually negative, right? Yeah. So with Maxi versus Hex, if you're calculating in Hex terms, it is accurately calculatable. It's one of the first instruments where you can actually calculate what the underlying value is worth at any time. And at this point in time, it's overvalued by like 160%.
Yeah, but there's also the potential worth. There's also how much it's accruing every day. And
that's factored in, though.
Yeah, that's all factored into the price. Yeah,
it's all factored in. It's all included.
Except for so it should trade at well, you can see it on the dashboard when you go there. It shows.
Did you make a bit? Did you make a wager?
Yeah, it should trade at like 1.1 or something like that, and it's trading at 1.7.
That'll go up over time.
So you could sell your Maxi at the moment it's 1.73. You could sell your Maxi at a 1.73 premium, and then put that into your own stake. It doesn't have to be 15 years, and then that means that everyone's holding Maxi is now like, assuming that premium even stays the same, which I don't even think it will.
Yeah,
they're losing ground on you every single day. So they need the premium to keep going up just to stay.
Well, it depends how long they. No, it depends how long they stake it for.
Okay, so let's have a look. This spreadsheet that you can see up here.
You immediately get an advantage because you've taken your shit out at 1.7.
Okay,
but then they need it to keep increasing.
Okay,
just to stay level with you.
Have a look at this tangent, and just for a discussion point. So I was interested, so I thought I'd run some numbers. Now, hopefully, this is not going to bore everyone with spreadsheets.
I love spreadsheets.
We'll have a look. So what I've done is I stretched out 15 years, and I said if you had originally put in 10,000 hex into Maxi, so you'd end up with 10,000 Maxi. Put rough current price, and then I've made some assumptions on price. That's going to be wildly inaccurate, but hey, just for the
but as long as you've got the same assumptions in the other scenario, then it's
that's right.
Fine, right? It's like with like.
So the expectation is if we're getting about 6.1 ish hex per T share per day, then by the time we get to the end of the 15-year stake, you've done essentially a 5x on your hex, which I think that's pretty much what everyone's saying will be the output from Maxi. Now, that's not accounting for Hedron and all that kind of stuff, so we'll just disregard that for this point in time. Now, I thought I'd take a little crack at having a look what the current premium is, and I've just used 1.75, which for today's example is probably close enough. And I thought, well, what happened if you were to sell your Maxi and realize that premium, and then you went and done something with it? So would you be in a better position if you realized that premium and then went and done your own stake? So what I went and had a look at was, okay, so let's cash in our Maxi. We get our 1.75 hex. Up here, because of you're in a bigger pays better maxed out stake, you got an extra 10% on your T-shares. Yep. So I said, okay, if we want to maintain that same earning power after we've sold our Maxi, we would need to put in 11,000 hex, because that accounts for our extra 10%. So you end up with the same amount of T-shares. I'm not sure why that yields slightly different there. Maybe there's a rounding multiple 30. Okay, so maybe I've got something just slightly out there which could impact things. Okay, so I didn't pick that one up until
So you're saying you can sell your Maxi for hex and then stake the hex and get the same.
That's right. So
value.
So you
sell at the premium, yeah.
So you sell it at the premium, you then stake it for 15 years, and that premium that you've just recovered is here. So 6,500.
What's the time frame for that? Because of obviously the share rate.
So then what I done is I went, okay, well let's track. So we're still tracking this 15-year share, this stake, sorry, and now we've got this liquid balance that we've kept, that we've realized from the premium. And when you run all the numbers out using the same values of hex over time, the difference between the two is like, given we're talking pretty big numbers here, so there's probably what's that? I guess it's getting close to, what are we? Is that close to a mil there? Let's have a look.
What does better? Which does better?
15.
The individual stake or the
150,000.
maxi stake.
So if you've done it individually, it's probably slightly ahead.
Yeah, but in that scenario, the difference is that it's not liquid.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
That's what you're paying for.
Now, yeah, that's right.
Spenny's got a good point about that as well, like being able to split across multiple wallets and stuff like that. But all I'm saying is that there are reasons for there to be a premium. I'm just saying it's way too high for those benefits.
Okay, so the only gotcha on this is if you are holding your Maxi and it's doing these sorts of numbers, are you going to sell your coin count? So
probably not.
Well, but you don't have to sell all. You don't have to sell all.
I had to sell.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. People, the gains will get so large for people that they will sell.
Oh yeah, just like a little bits here and there, kind of thing.
A little bit here and there,
yeah. I said when I was on Jim Rat's stream, I said if the premium was like 1.1, which would still be, it's still a premium because we've just started, so it's like it should only just be just over 1.0 in terms of underlying. If it was like 1.1-ish or between 1.1 and 1.2, I would be like, that's completely fine. Like, include, because there's obviously always a speculative premium as well, potentially. But I'm just saying that this. So I never said there should be no premium. I never said the price of Maxi absolutely must track the underlying value at all times. That's retarded. All I said was that this premium is insanely high. And the more insane it gets, the more I'll sell waiting for it to come back to reality. Like come back. And I'm not even saying it needs to get back to parity with underlying, but I am saying it will return to closer to sane at some point. And I'm willing to wait.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, look, that's a fair statement, and only it can't be proven until it happens.
Jexa, the thing that is shocking to me is I'm out on my own with this. Like literally every person.
You're not, mate. No.
Okay, so I'm exaggerating. But the majority of people think that I'm fucking nuts. And I'm like, dude, like listen to what the fuck I'm saying. Like it's so obvious to me. and people are just like refusing to believe it. It's, to me, it's blowing my mind. This is probably one of the most shocking things for me in crypto in years, is the number of people that are I'm being serious, dude. I'm being deadly serious. This is one of the most shocking things that obviously the Luna collapse, like just to zero, is higher, but this would be top 3, is the number of people disagreeing with me on this. It blows my freaking mind, man. It blows my freaking mind, because I'm so right and they are so wrong. Like,
what happened? Did you get wrecked? Who got wrecked?
Everyone got wrecked. Everyone got wrecked.
Oh,
Legacy, crypto, everyone got wrecked.
Hex users unaffected. Hex users unaffected.
Hex users unaffected.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in Hex, get on.
Hex, Hex came back to save my portfolio again.
Jeez, that sounded pretty intense. What you were just saying, Tangent. I missed all that. Seriously,
unwrecked. You have been right all along, man. Hex is the ultimate shit. Like it's never varied from basically that if you are just willing to buy and hold Hex, then
unless you bought a little less than a year ago.
You got to curb your desire.
You saw the thought going through my head, Bluey. I was like, actually, yeah.
Don't get shiny syndromes and all that. The shiny syndromes, whatever we call it, shiny token syndrome. You know, don't get so many things. Just get what you need. And I found it was fine. It was staking Hex. So yeah, I'll recommend it. But I am like,
there's also obviously the end stake.
I'm in the game now a little bit.
Apart from no liquidity, there's also the end stake fee chucked on top of that formula that you worked out.
For Maxi or for your individual?
Well, if you make your own Hex stake.
And let me be very clear. I'm not suggesting anyone goes and dumps their Maxi and does that.
No, I'm just saying that you have to add that into the price.
Yeah, that's right. So what I was just trying to show is the ramifications, or try and get an idea and see whether it was really lopsided in terms of the returns.
I think the reason that people are kind of like, no, it's about where it should be. It's because people can imagine being faced with that situation where I could go get a Hex stake, lock it up for a bloody long period of time and not be able to touch it. Or I could get these Maxis, be able to take a little bit out here and there. And then it's kind of like, okay, it's at a premium because there's not much being sold.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That premium, hang on.
It is awesome, but the premium's too high.
Hang on, that premium seems to be going between 1.5 to 1.8, pretty much.
Yeah. But we don't have enough data. We don't have enough data to like be confident about that.
That's what it's done so far.
There's a channel, but it's too early.
It's too early to tell. Yeah. Look, I if you go back and watch our stream from, I think it's 2 weeks ago, but one of our previous streams, I specifically said that I would be 100% out between 1.9 and 1.2. That would be where I would basically be. I would scale out if I'd basically be doing like from 1.5, sell a fifth, and then all the way up to basically 1.9, and then I would buy back in lower. I wasn't at a computer when it hit 1.9, but theoretically, if I had like a bot executing what my thought process was, it would have fucking nailed it, because it tapped 1.9.
You can have a.
We don't talk about our bags.
Like, just giving it. It's having a free liquidity position.
Yeah. You could, but then there's a risk that if it does like run off in one direction, you get screwed. Like,
but it's not. That's the thing. It's not going to be something that runs off in one direction. I don't think.
That's my investment thesis as well. Like that's why I said that Maxi versus Hex would actually be an excellent LP to be in, because that premium will always fluctuate. Premium discount will always fluctuate around the underlying value. So it's probably one of the better LPs to be in, because it's less likely to run away in one direction like other cryptos versus like crypto versus crypto or crypto versus dollar. So, I'm getting misquoted a lot. Where people are saying that I've been saying shit like, they're taking my words out of context, or they're
it happens all happened to me
they're
too.
paraphrasing my sentiment. Like so.
Yeah.
So apparently you were.
But this is someone tweeted at me saying time will tell, and I'm like, you're damn right. Like they thought that was like them crushing my shit, being like, bro, time's gonna tell. I'm like, bro, time will tell. Like, yes, I agree.
The level of conviction. So how long we will know till we have that? When's that gonna happen?
It's one of those things. It's one of those things like, say, look at Peter Schiff, right? He's been wrong about Bitcoin forever. So, like, because I'm in the Peter Schiff seat, right? Where I can just keep. So I've got an unlosable position because I can just keep claiming that it's still coming down the track. But let's be clear. It's obvious now that Peter Schiff is fucking wrong about Bitcoin. Like that's clear. So if I'm wrong for long enough about this, there will come a point where you're like, dude, you've been wrong about this for so long, even though you can claim that it's still coming, that the premium's going to lower, just give it up. And at that point, I won't do a Peter Schiff. I will be like, all right, I was wrong about this.
But you could really be like him.
Let's go like 7 months. Let's go in 7 months.
I was going to say, you could really be like him and continue on your narrative, but still be a holder.
For engagement. I'm holding. Yeah. It's almost like I'm exactly like Peter Schiff, because I bet he holds some. I bet he fucking holds some. I'm not trying to FUD the project. Like, I want it to go up. I just... I'm just trying to be honest about how premiums work and how... there's a
appreciate your honesty, mate. We appreciate it.
Tangent, just on, does too. I want to pick up on. I want to circle back on one thing. I don't want to beat this Maxi thing to death.
No. Go ahead.
But with the Bitcoin grayscale premium, you do see that fluctuate a lot, and that's, you made a comment about because they're pricing that in USD. So do you think because this is tied to HEX, it's less likely to swing like that?
Yeah. So basically, for them, if they care about their dollar wealth, then there are market forces within that product that matter about what people are speculating on what the Bitcoin price is going to do in dollar terms, right? Whereas in this particular scenario, I am purely talking about it in terms of HEX, because we all love HEX. We would all love the idea of having more HEX. So I'm eliminating the dollar fluctuation of HEX value, and we're just doing Maxi HEX. That's it.
Yep. So in saying that, is there a case where it shouldn't fall below NAV?
Yeah. Like I think that's very plausible that it actually never goes into a discount, but does come all the way back. The only thing that would make me think that it probably will go into discount is the momentum. So that that as it's
get a sell, yeah.
So I think it would be very plausible that it could be premium, less premium, premium, less premium, premium, less premium. But there's going to be a time where that fucking momentum to the downside takes it into a discount. It's almost certainly going to happen.
Tangent will be there waiting.
And I'll be there with a clip. I'll be there with a clip of this fucking video and all the tweets.
It'll be 15 years down the track, but it will be there.
He'll have a lot of HEX to buy.
Yeah, full grey beard. Have you seen those ones of Peter Schiff where they've used the aging algorithm to make him like 100 years old, and he's still like, Bitcoin's a scam.
Funny.
That's actually a good. I saw a post from Super HEX. People often forget Max Kaiser made his own shitcoin called Max Coin. So MAX coin. I think you can still get it on like Yobit maybe. That's a good point. So the reason why the Bitcoin community have re-accepted him back into, because he basically binned that coin, distanced himself from it, and went back into full Bitcoin Maxi mode. So the Bitcoin Maxis are like, it's like the parable of the prodigal son or whatever. It's like, for those of you who weren't raised religious, it was like this kid that ran away from home, and then the shepherd fucking welcomes. I'm probably mixing Bible stories here, but I'm like, yo, and then there was this crazy ass flood, like, so. But anyway, the son comes back, and then the other brother's like, father, like, fuck him off. He disrespected you, and he's like, no. The fact that he's come back now, it's like, I'm gonna like respect him even more. So Max Kaiser got the prodigal son treatment. And they even elevated him to religious status.
Yeah, well, he's all like, yeah, I noticed that. I didn't know about that, but
they call Max Kaiser the high priest of Bitcoin.
Oh,
they call him the high priest of Bitcoin.
He's more like the crazy uncle.
He's more like the town fool. But I mean that in a loving way. I mean that in a very loving way. Yo, I've got I have got a lot of respect for Max Kaiser because he speaks out against banks like he does not give a fuck about his personal safety.
He's not completely stupid either.
It's like he's not afraid to die, and he's not afraid to get like poisoned or have some supersonic weapon, have his heart stop or whatever.
That's what it is. Crypto that hangs over all of us, that sort of stuff. And you know what? I tell you what, I'll die with mine.
You know,
hand them over.
Orca said something that really stuck with me that I didn't realize I was actually doing myself. He said he has to speak out doubly as loud to make up for the people who have got family that they can't risk speaking truth to power. So if you're a single guy and you don't have children and you don't have a wife and you don't have people that are depending on you.
I've got a whole collection of parrots. Hey,
yeah, like
the fly away little bird. There you go. Here's your little crumbs. Off you go now.
Here's your bird seed. Like a flock of seagulls. You're like waving a stick around, just trying to get them, and they're just trying to get that one chip. They're just trying to come in for that one chip, man. That one hot chip.
Hey mate, keep going with that story. I was listening to that. That was interesting. What were you talking about before we lose the?
No, that was it. That was the whole thing. That he was basically just saying that people who basically have got that don't have dependents have the fortunate position to be able to speak truth to power at high personal risk to themselves. Because if you get taken out, it's or like, you know, if something bad happens to you because of you being mouthy,
horrible.
It's not like you're leaving children behind. Whereas your friends that have kids, they have to be more. So I won't say who it was. I won't dox them.
You can't be
someone who we all know messaged me and said, "Man, I would love to be going to the freedom protest like you are, but I can't do it because." If they've got like facial recognition there, or they've got some shit where they're like, you know, blacklisting people, I can't risk, you know, because especially if you've got young kids. If your kids are all grown up and they're doing their own thing, then maybe not so much. But if you've got a young family, you need to put them first, you know.
Yeah, right. That's true. And of course, you're trying to make this like, I mean, these are potential life and death decisions that you could be making about someone, you know.
Yeah. These dudes don't mess around.
Your loins or whatever. Yeah, man.
These dudes don't mess around. That's why I get so pumped when people like Richard Hart, Elon Musk, Russell Brand speak out and speak truth, because I'm like, I don't even know if people realize how dangerous that is. Like if you have a large audience and you make those kinds of comments.
What can you just give us another example of what kind of comment you're referring to?
Of what could happen? Oh
no. What could happen? What sort of thing would incite?
Like any pro-freedom, pro-human rights, pro-crypto stuff. That even pro-crypto stuff. If the commentary that you're making is about why it's good in the context of getting away from the corrupt legacy system.
Well, shouldn't everyone be moving towards, you know, the new technology?
Yes.
Shouldn't everyone be
I believe so.
trying to? Yeah, it's a more fairer meritocracy in a sense.
If something has the potential to make the human experience better for everyone, people should be absolutely voting with their dollars towards that shit.
Yeah.
For me, that is the strongest pitch for crypto. But obviously that doesn't resonate with as broad an audience as some of the other stuff, like Mad
we're like we're around the globe, and but like I mean, there are more sort of I guess things like what can happen, and if it can happen at any time, it can happen today. So those are the sorts of sense of urgency that we would like to. You've got to try and get onto, because
it's interesting what you said there too, Tangent, is we're fortunate to be in a sector where we can stand up for something that we believe in and that we want to push forward.
Oh yeah,
and it comes along with the chance to get mad gains. Okay, that's very, very rare beast. So anyone that's in this space now, you shouldn't be taking that for granted. You've got to.
Sorry, I'm laughing at some.
Look at the 1.6.
No. There's some very nice comments, like really positive comments in the chat, and I laughed at this one though, where someone said, "Hey, I think you should debate Richard Hart. Not sure if anyone has suggested this idea yet."
He's not coming on now. He's not coming on this show. No way. You have to do it on his channel anyway.
And when he gets a few more subscribers, we might let him on.
Welcome here.
But yeah. These compliments in the chat mean a lot to me. Like these are really, really, really nice comments. So I mean, are you guys getting coin fatigue now, even within our own ecosystem, our sub ecosystem of like Richard Hart fanboys? I'm starting to see tweets about projects that are like HEX related somehow, like someone's dog sneezed on it, and so it's somehow related to HEX. But that I'm like, I've never even heard of this project, and the fucking sack phase is already over and shit like that. So it's just like they're just coming in. They're just coming in fast and hot. Like what's your take on these?
Yeah, obviously I'm pretty preoccupied with other things I'm doing, so I can't keep
that's
in tune.
Legit. That's legit.
I can't keep in tune with all of them.
Good teams focus on building.
So, but like I try and stay across everything I can, but it's like a snowball at the moment. Like there's just every day there's something new, and I'm sure I don't even know a third of.
And this is pre-launch. This is before PulseChain even exists. Can you imagine how many projects are going to launch once it exists? It's going to be fucking madness. It'll be impossible to keep up with it.
I was looking at a list of them the other day, and then there was one which I was like, "What on earth is this?" And
is this a list? Is this a list of projects that can be claimed to be like Richard Hart sub-related? Is that what you mean?
It's projects that are going to be on
Pulse related projects.
Yeah, they're going to be on Pulse. And it was just like a game of Monopoly. It was like, and I'm not sure what I didn't look too much into it, but it was like people are coming up with all sorts of like half-assed.
I'd be sticking with the with the main contenders. The top end, the favourite. Obviously, HEX, Pulse X, HEX on both chains. By the way, see that. But that would be the one.
I think you've got to give everything. Everything's going to need a chance to breathe. So at the moment, we're in this in a little bit of a hype phase, where there's a lot of built up potential there. Everyone wants to release things and do things, and I think we've got to see the chain. We've got to see the chain launch. First of all, we've got to see that be successful and stable, and we're not doing a Solana where we're dropping every couple of days and stuff like that. So you need that solid foundation first.
Flawless operation.
Just
we are going to have flawless operation on Pulse. I'm manifesting it. It is literally never going to miss a beat.
Yep.
Can I just address this comment in the my fellas said, can someone tell these streamers that HEX is already RIP, right? So I know that I personally have tweeted out some stuff that sounds not negative per se, but like I've tweeted some stuff about
Devil's advocate
models and memes relating to HEX being broken, gone, like dead. However, Hex itself is not dead. And if you you're going to learn with time that Hex is going, Hex will make new all-time highs against ETH, Bitcoin, and dollar. That is nearly guaranteed. I would give it not financial advice. I would give it 99.9% chance. I'm as convinced of that as I am that Bitcoin's not going to zero. To put my probability assignment into perspective. That is how confident I am.
We don't doubt your conviction, Tangent. That's why you're here, mate. That's really good. But Jexa and Dorsey, not Dorsey. Who's Dozer? Yeah. You guys did some went through some numbers with I guess for PulseChain, things like that, coming at 0. Was it about 1/17th of a cent? I reckon he might be out by a decimal place or 3 or 4. But
anything
who knows?
Well, no, our theory was based on the price of Hex.
It's good. Yeah. Wow.
So I think when we done our numbers, that was and to give the person credit, it wasn't me that.
It wasn't.
No, you were just going through some data.
Wasn't it an ETH ratio?
Cryptographic? Is it cryptographics? I think.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah. So he was just thinking along the same line as I was in terms of how I think value will migrate across to the network. But he actually went through and checked out all the liquidity pools and worked out the price and ratios. And I think that was when Hex was around the 10-cent mark that he'd done that. And obviously a lot's changed. We've seen liquidity change, we've seen the price change. So who the hell knows where we're going to be when we actually launch? I guess the takeaway was the price of Hex could be the determining factor. So if we see the price of Hex rally up prior to the launch, then don't be surprised if you see Pulse launch at a healthy price.
Yeah, well, it's always been the jewel of the crown. It's always the plan.
It's all speculation, and I don't know about anyone else, but I'm getting some little tingles about what might be going on in the background.
Is it tingling in your jimmies?
Something like that.
Absolutely.
Whenever I think about PulseChain, I get a tingling in my jimmies.
The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. So I'm always getting tingly nuts when I see this.
Wait, Joker had a tweet. Joker had a tweet about reminding everyone what it felt like when we were pumping up and just making new all-time highs every damn day. And it was just new all-time high, new all-time high, new all-time high, new all-time high. He was like, that feeling was like buying a new car. Every time you would just see that the Hex price has gone up another 30%. And it was that dopamine hit was going out and buying a freaking Lambo. Maybe not a Lambo, but maybe a nice Audi, a nice Audi sedan. So yeah, and I liked the way that he framed it positively, where rather than making the post saying oh man, price is down so much, it was reminiscent of how amazing it is when it goes up, and we're down at the moment, which means up is a possibility. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but
yeah. So you made a mention of something very important a minute ago, and when you said about PulseChain being flawless, what was the
flawless uptime?
Yeah, but you said you're willing it, or you're
manifesting it.
Yeah. So that goes for everything. If everyone's chucking negativity around in the chats and the tweets, that's what you're manifesting. So fucking start putting the positive.
It's really easy. If you're with nature, it's really simple, straightforward. Just go with the flow. If you're doing against it, you're rowing against the bloody current.
You're the one, Jexa, that got me onto the abundance mindset. You got me onto that shit, and I stuck with it. Regardless of what price was doing, I maintained that mindset of not worrying about money. It's going to be fine. I'm going to have ample economic resources.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And while you maintain that mindset, not only is it less stressful, and obviously people are like, oh, it's easy if you are in certain situations, like not having dependence and having having a reasonable like buffer against downturns and shit like that. Obviously, these things help for you to be able to more easily maintain that mindset. But the mindset is what is key. That is what is the most important thing. You put me onto that. I think maybe when we're in person, it might have been at the Perth meetup.
Yeah, and
where you were like,
well, there's a reason for that, mate. It was only a couple of years ago where we went through a pretty hard time, and you can either get focused on what you're going to lose, or you can focus on what you actually want and what you want to gain, and
what you've got.
Yeah, well, it's not even what you've got,
like
but
gratitude.
Oh, it's been
just focus on where you want to head, and because what you think is what you get.
Be content.
And it was a real conscious effort when this happened, was noticing that you're just focusing on the negative and you're probably dragging yourself further and further down into the fucking hole.
So easy to do.
So how do you flip that script and and start chasing the things you want, or
go for a walk.
It's
that's it.
Power of your thoughts.
Just change your energy, but just wake up in the morning and don't worry. Forget the negative shit. Focus on where you want to be, and it doesn't happen straight away, but it eventually happens because maybe have a bit of a chuckle. Maybe have a bit of a chuckle over the negative shit. Yeah. What you manifest is what you get. So. Yeah, I'm a big believer in that.
Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Because that's what people say to me when I say if I talk to them face to face, say outside of whatever, they go, "You lucky bastard." It's like something like that. What's going on, Bluey?
Well, we've got a few segments to run. I don't even know if anyone knows how to push the buttons.
Yeah. So we're coming up to the. Hey, listen, Matt. Listen, he's judging my competency at.
No, not at all, mate. I just don't.
I haven't done it for a while. It is true. I haven't. I've had a lot of personal issues that I've had to resolve. I had a lot of personal issues outside of this. So I've had more important things to do.
I've never been in charge of pressing the buttons, man. So I don't know how it works.
I agree with Unwrecked.
I'll probably let you.
That Bluey hasn't had much talk time. So maybe we should do that segment that Day 43 jokingly suggested ages ago, where it's basically the blue bum gets to just say, "Everyone shut the fuck up, I've got something to say." And then it's just like whatever he wants to talk about.
Come on, Bluey.
Is it bitch tits or legends?
We know you've got all the inside goss on what's happening with Hedron as well. So I want to
hear
what's actually played out.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up. He just gets snappy if you talk over him. And I always get in trouble for talking over everyone.
It never changes, though.
Yeah. I think we've done well today. I think we've done really well today. I've probably been the only offender, like the only guilty person of talking over the top.
All right, Bluey. Floor's yours.
Well, we had the Hedron auctions.
Mm-hmm.
How'd it go?
The Hedron auctions have gone off. People like to do the old numerology with the numbers. I think there were lots of bids which were like 456, 456, 456, which won one of them, and I think 8888888999 or something like that. There was shit like that.
Bro, I don't believe in any of that shit because I'm a Sagittarius. All right,
fire sign. No.
Is that right, mate? Is that right, mate? Well, how about this one then? You like this one? Look at that. That's
awesome.
I do summon. Yeah, man. That's
do you just leave that lying around to impress girls? Do you just leave that shit lying around to impress
That's how I know.
Ladies?
That's what I pulled the numbers out my ass too, straight from there.
Because I have candles and incense and shit. Sorry, Bluey. Go.
It's manifestation.
So Bluey.
Did the amount that they went for, was it close to the value of the thing? Was it undervalued, overvalued?
They were slightly overvalued from what you could have got. Like, for instance, if there was something with a $500 stake, but actually you only need $130 to make that stake because as soon as you
maxed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
they were going for just a little bit more than what it would have cost to make that stake.
Okay. So the hype was real. Like, people wanted to be involved in the auctions more than necessarily the value of what they were buying.
Well, I think partially that, getting those the person who won the first one is a bit of an historical moment. And, but I think that yeah, who knows what is on people's minds when they bid on that kind of stuff. But it seems to me that people have valued them pretty correctly.
So that's going to be
that's really good. That's really good.
There's still big whales that are just like peeling off the Hedron and putting it.
Well,
putting it on
HEX,
the market.
they're sacrificing their HEX for it to burn Hedron.
What?
No, the whales. The whales are big.
Yeah, the whales. That's what I'm saying.
Every day.
If you put a HEX stake up for liquidation, and you run out the time,
Oh,
you're
would it be
giving
the
up your
whales that are
HEX
doing that?
to have Hedron burn.
I think the best case scenario for the project would have been for the auction to end with it valued close, either a little bit above, a little bit below, or bang on what the thing was worth. Like, I think that demonstrates the legitimacy that there are enough people bidding, and that when something gets liquidated, it actually will will.
Didn't mean to catch up there, Mr. Tangent.
No, all good, all good.
Just a dry run, was it, mate?
Oh, was that an accident? I thought we were doing, because that's Sammy's segment, right? The Hexagon of the week.
No, that's bitch tits.
That's bitch tits.
Oh, bitch tits.
This is sucking on my titties.
Since Sammy's not here,
Like
I'm just going to give Hexagon
anything.
of the week to myself. I'm going to just call it.
To you, what have you done?
Actually, a legend.
He's going to be Mexican of the week.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, you're
You
right.
You shouldn't put me in charge of this stuff.
Actually, all the stuff
right there.
All the stuff that I've done in this week has been for cryptocurrencies that are not Hex, like resetting up my Bitcoin node, like my other hardware to do with other shit. Like, so you're right. I'm actually should be the last person eligible
of the week.
to be Hexagon of the week.
Oh,
yeah.
Who is it? Who's the lucky?
Actually, I tweet a lot. I tweet a lot. Pro Hex shit. You guys are lost without 430. I thought. Oh, sorry, that's 43 OG.
I'll take that as a compliment. I'm content.
I thought we were doing really well.
Thanks for that.
I thought we're doing like really fucking well. I thought the conversation's going nicely.
Yeah, it is. Oh, we're only here.
I want to ask Bluey some more questions.
Right. Not too worried. Bluey, want to hear what he's talking about.
That stake that got put up for auction, I'm assuming, so it was a 15-year stake. They've borrowed against it.
There's been quite a few.
So they would have done a max borrow against that stake for all their Hedron.
Well, one of them did. No, one of them. Yeah, they have to do a max borrow. One of them was a 10-year stake. I mean, there's different lengths of times.
Yeah. So what I'm curious about is when you do that borrow. So if you do a max borrow, is it worth more than the stake is worth at the moment?
No, nowhere near.
Nowhere near it.
Yep. Nowhere near.
Yep.
You can't borrow that much at the moment, and it's going to take a while for that ratio to change until it becomes kind of like, I think, worthwhile for people to start borrowing if they need, if they want it.
Yep. Yeah, that's the bit I'm looking forward to see that happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you want to borrow when it's at a high price. If you think it's kind of shorting it in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So you borrow and you want to, if your plans to cash that in, you want to do that at the highs. And
speaking of shorting, did you guys see that tweet from Richard Hart being like, has anyone worked out how to fucking short Hex on chain yet? I think he wants people to start shorting it. Like, well, I mean, he's wanted this the whole time. People short Hex, and then someone, probably us, like as in like whales, Hexagons, him, everyone, anyone in the Hex community, it's like you would pump the price just to fuck them up. Like, you know what I mean? Like it would just be the most savage.
Really?
It would be a gang rape, man. It would be a savage gang rape.
When you say shorting something, kind of clarify something. Like that's not just it doesn't just mean that you think the price is going down. Like shorting is actually with leverage. Yeah.
Well, it can be with or without leverage. So you can short on like 1x, or you can short on leverage. Like
that's where I've not understood it, because it's kind of like if you want to short it without leverage, well then just sell it and wait. Like,
Yeah. So essentially,
bro,
you
that would have been a dope reply to his tweet. Just be like, yeah, dude, like you could just literally sell it, like, because you're right.
So what you do is
you sell it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you borrow it, sell it.
But why do you need to borrow it?
Jex is right.
Borrow it.
Selling spot is technically not going short because all you're doing is so the technical difference is you're reducing how long you are. You're not actually going short because you had to have the bag to be able to sell spot. Shorting is something that someone can do when they own zero. You don't need to have a bag of HEX to go short if the ability to short is there. See the difference?
Yeah, it's with leverage. It's with leverage.
No. It doesn't.
So you're putting up something else for collateral as aside from HEX, and then shorting HEX.
The functionality behind the scenes of how it occurs is not relevant. It's just that being able to short means that you can effectively sell the asset without owning it. How it operates in the back end of the protocol that you're using, whether it's an exchange or a decentralized one, is like not necessarily relevant. It's just the act of you don't own it and you want to sell something you don't own. So you effectively have to borrow it to sell it in hope that you can buy it back at a lower price to repay that debt and at a profit. So,
but that's what I'm saying is you have to borrow it, and
yes, you have to borrow it. You have to borrow it.
And so that means that implies leverage.
No, because you can do a 1x.
No, because in crypto, if you're borrowing in crypto, you're putting up the exact same amount. So, so it's not really borrowing. It's just like
leverage typically means more than 100% position.
Yeah. So you're saying if you have nothing and you want it to bet that it goes down, so you borrow, that's a form of leverage. You're leveraging at 1x. If you can't get that borrow. Don't
get too bogged down in like in Jexer, help me out here. Like, as in, don't get too bogged down in whether it's leverage or not. Like, it's just it just means that if someone goes short and the price goes up, whether it's at a 1x short or a leveraged short, they will get wrecked depending on how high the price goes. And obviously, Richard is confident that the price of HEX is going to go up. Yeah. And
if you've sold $10,000 worth of it, and then it drops down to be to the point where you can buy that back for $1,000 worth, well, then you've made that difference between what you sold and what you've got to pay back what you've sold. Does that make sense? So you've got to have done some sort of lending in some sort of way to get something that you don't. It is definitely it's leverage because you've taken some sort of loan or lend or whatever you've done. Yeah.
Oh, so check. So you would class it as leverage?
Well, it is because you've.
Okay. All right.
How you've done that, whether you've put up a different collateral or it's so in the traditional sense, I think they essentially lend you the money and you just pay an interest rate on the money, the equivalent value you've lent.
I was wrong about that shit then. The way I saw it is if you were shorting at 1x, to me, that's not leverage. That's just like, to me, I thought it's only leverage once you start going like 2x short, 10x short. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, to me, that was the leverage.
You can get a loan for a $10,000 loan and you've just got to pay the interest rate on it essentially. So you sell your $10,000. When it drops, you can repay your debt, and over that period, you've had to pay the interest rate to hold that position, essentially. Now, I've got to be honest. I've never done that sort of stuff in crypto, so I don't know how it works on crypto exchanges. And stuff.
I want it.
Directions don't grow on trees, you know.
Yeah.
There's a good comment in here from I think it's Johnny Chaos. It's the Creation Studio, FX Studios, where it says the crypto space tends to regularly defy logic. That is 100% accurate.
But you're reading comments from like an hour ago, aren't you?
Imagine, oh shit, that's mine. To me, that's like the second most recent comment. Anyway, so in terms of incentivizing Richard to pump the price. Imagine if there was a whole bunch of haters with like if you saw the number of short positions building up, and he could just see that all he has to do is lift the price by like 2 or 3 cents to wreck all their shorts. So the reason I want to see shorts in the game for HEX is because the incentivization for Richard Wales, the OA, to pump the shit out of the price just as like a revenge move. Like it's just a fuck you to haters. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a financial incentive for Wales to pump the price.
Here's a way to short
even more.
This one.
Do you think we'd see even more volatility?
You want to do that?
If there was that ability?
Yeah, I heard about that project. Sorry, Blue, what was that?
Do you think we'd see even more volatility in the price if?
Yeah, I think Richard did say that, and I do agree that if you have leverage, then you will see more volatility because obviously as people get liquidated, you have those liquidation cascades, which really will. You've got that tolerance band, and when you go outside of that, people start getting liquidated, and it just adds to the sell or buy pressure depending on which direction you're going in. So yes, I think it would almost certainly increase volatility of the asset.
Yeah,
it'll also go to the upside as well because people will be longing it as well.
Oh,
with leverage.
I would never short anything, any crypto because there's more. There tends to be always more of an upside, and the calculations are better. You get a better return on a long than you do on a short.
If someone created it so that you could only go short 1x, then even if within the same protocol you can go long 1x, there's no point because that's the same as buying spot. You might as well just buy spot. Well, that would be the best scenario because then the volatility only exists to the upside as people get wrecked, as people with shorts get wrecked. And then, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, because you can get liquidated for your long as well if you can go one way. Then
but I'm saying people wouldn't be incentivized to go long 1x. You might as well just buy spot. What would be the point in going long 1x? It's the same as buying spot.
But that's my whole point about going short.
Because you like the coin.
You may as well be selling it and waiting to buy back.
So technically, Bluey's correct. If you borrow the money to do it, then yeah, that's like taking a bit of money out of your home loan or something.
Taking from Peter to pay Paul.
You're paying. You're paying a.
But you don't have to pay back your loans when you get one from Liquid.
Borrow the money and buy spot.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's exactly what you. Yeah.
So, and I'm sure some people have done that, right? Like, I'm sure some people have taken legacy loans, either refinanced their house or got a credit card or whatever.
Max the credit card.
And use that money to max the credit card out. That was effing wild.
But I'm like a second-class citizen in my own country because
that was actually effing wild.
I'm a sole trader. But yeah.
When Richard called out Saylor for suggesting that people should be like borrowing against their homes and maxing out credit cards to buy Bitcoin, that is actually one of the most irresponsible things I've ever heard.
Crazy.
I know some people that did quite well doing that.
CZ
they got their money back.
CZ built his empire. CZ built the Binance empire off doing exactly that. And more to the point, the moral of the story is he did it at a time where the shit was high and he got wrecked doing it, and then came back from that because of how much crypto goes up. So he sold his house or mortgaged his house, went all in on Bitcoin. The price got wrecked.
Is that what he did?
And then it came back so hard that he was able to start Binance and take over crypto, basically. Like, that's how crazy crypto appreciation can be. Yeah. And Richard says this all the time, right? Like, even in crypto, even if you get in and get wrecked, he said it happened to him. He bought $30 and went down to $2. As long as you don't sell and as long as you're patient, don't sell, be patient. And we're seeing that with HEX right now, right? Yeah. We're seeing that with HEX right now. Like people who you didn't actually need to buy the 4-cent dip like Dozer did. You just had to wait through it and you weren't, and it was okay. Like, patience plus not panic selling equals gains in crypto.
Just be objective and don't be emotive when you're doing that stuff because that's where you kind of make mistakes or you make a wrong decision.
easy to say, hard to do.
Yeah, exactly. It was do as I say, not as I do, because I'm just like stuffed
scroll,
up.
Scroll back to the beginning of this chat.
Many mistakes. It's not even funny.
Everyone had a different emotion on where we are right now. So,
bro, even though mentally I was sound and my attitude was still positive, I did notice myself tweeting out shit that was borderline negative in that period where Hex price was just absolutely getting crushed down to like sub 5 cents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's nearly impossible. If you're a human being, it is nearly impossible to completely avoid that shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got one friend that was he's gone out into the middle of nowhere for a bit of a holiday, and he's been oblivious to everything that's been going on. He's got no phone reception at all out there. So
probably having a good time.
Yeah.
So he's out there. He's out there watching sunsets, being like, "Yeah, my T-shares are paying me every damn day." Comes back, it's like 3 cents.
Right. But the best thing might happen. He'll pop out the other side of the bush in 2 weeks, like nothing's ever happened.
Yeah.
He missed the whole thing. Yeah.
And what an amazing free lesson that he will get from that. He will get a stress-free lesson of not panic selling. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate.
Well, that's the good thing about the stakes mechanism, isn't it? Because it protects you from, makes you sort of like think about it and value them a bit more. And especially if you have to pay a penalty, it's never nice. So you've got to make sure you plan and do your budget.
All right.
However,
you know,
right,
press buttons for bitch tits.
Okay, we're running the segment. Okay, here we go.
Hey guys, I'm gonna split ski, guys.
Louis,
I'm gonna split, guys. I'm
no worries, mate.
Gonna get and stuff.
See you, Bluey. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, man.
See you guys.
If you win, we'll let you know. All right, mate.
If what?
If you win,
No,
we'll let
you're
you
out.
know.
If you're not here, you can't win.
I can't win
if you're not here.
Yeah.
True statement, correct?
You're pretty close, Bluey.
You're a winner. You're a winner in my mind.
Close,
Bluey.
yeah. But I didn't win, did I?
No, you're always a winner to me.
Well,
unwrecked. How's those new rules in schools where kids you can't tell them that they lost? It's like everyone's a winner.
I'm so tired though.
Oh right, yeah.
Did I win?
Oh, sorry.
Nah.
Would you? Oh, sorry. Would you like a little cupcake with that punch in the nose that you just got when you got belted? Oh no, you didn't win. You're both the same. You're both winners. Why is he got a broke? Why is my nose smashed? Anyway, we're not.
Put the screen up, Unrec. We're trying to.
I did not hear that.
Who's bitch tits? I know Dozza went for like 6 cents.
Oh, you're not going to believe who got it this week.
Unwrecked.
No way.
Nailed it.
Literally
nailed it.
Dude, fucking hell! That is accurate to 2 DP.
Yep.
Must have been the little turtle and the rocks and the. I did like a I don't know. I do all these like. I have all these like select rocks.
Hasn't been on stream for 6 months. Then comes in and takes the win.
All right, Jexa, what is
that?
Manifestation.
Manifestation. What about this one? Gently nibble your lover from their feet up to their inner thigh. Manifest that.
Wait, Jexa, what does this say? It says tangents a sex.
Hang on. I'll have to go back to here to find that.
I hope it says sexual deviant.
Sexual liquidity provider.
You'd be proud of what?
Wasn't expecting that one.
Wait, do you think it was JFK that did that? Because it's
probably
666. It's
666
on the.
I'd say so.
Well done, Unwrecked. Well done. That's a clean win as well.
That's
look. We got 141 people watching, and how many people are actually going into the tipping contest?
Yeah, not
I
many.
I better do what
Let's get the link. Come on, guys.
Let's hype people up.
Yeah, we need a better response.
I always forget this link.
What is it? .ch. bitch.
I'll put the link in the chat as well because that's a hard one to remember, I reckon.
Yeah, bitch. Tit.
Oh, sorry. Titbit.ch.
That's what I mean. No one can remember it. I'll put it. I'll put the actual link to the form in there.
It spells tit bitch, but when you include the ch of the domain, you know what I'm saying? That's how you remember it. It's tit bitch, but with the decimal place in the word.
Is that it? That form? Can I put that?
Oh, there you go. It looks like I can. Cool. So it looks like I pasted that then. Oh, did you...
I pasted it as well.
Oh, you done it. Okay,
great minds think alike.
What am I going to do?
You're a lot smarter than me.
All right, I'm going to get your votes in, peeps. Let's see if we can get record votes.
I think I'm going to do 12.1 cents.
There's 128 people watching, so expect at least 128 votes in there.
Yep. And smash the like too. Hit us up on the algorithm. Actually, you probably don't want. We probably don't want certain people to tune into our show because they wouldn't get what we're talking about.
Boys, I've noticed that the last few weeks the stream has been on 2 channels. Is it dual streaming out onto like a Hex late show channel and the DS channel? It's
yes,
like a dual stream. Okay,
yes,
I must have missed the memo on that. That's good.
That was the brains trust, that one.
Yeah. I think it's worth having it like stored on so that if something ever happened to either channel, there's like a backup, you know. I
have heard they are starting a new channel, the Discourse Syndicate Network there, and does seem to be some, I guess.
So we'll be able to continue
moving of the gears. Well, yeah, of course. They're all going well. I said at the start of the show, they've really good 1 hour take of the rundown, like a weekly rundown around the grounds and all the streamers. So, whoever your favourites are and whoever you like to listen to and watch, it's all on the Discourse Syndicate Network. They've got TV shows on every day now, including our show. I'm not sure why we're just out here, learning, educating ourselves and finding out about cryptocurrency and how to do it safely and how to invest in it. So obviously it's worked out all right for me.
And actually, I want to give a bit of a shout out to GRC and Sam. They're doing a really good job over on their channel. They've awesome chats getting everyone in from the community, and I enjoyed the one with Gunther the other day as well. That was a cracker. And I think you were on there the other day as well, weren't you, Tangent?
Yeah. I really, really like Jim Rat's channel. I think it might actually be my favorite Hex stream.
Yeah, that's pretty casual.
Aside from ours.
No, that's good. That's good. No, man. No, fair. Geez, I mean,
he's just done an amazing job. I call him the Joe Rogan of Hex. I call him the Joe.
I do kind of like a bit of Wales only. I'm a bit of a fan of Wales. And of course, the crypto stylist is one that's over there now. The ladies discourse was great too on the weekend.
I subbed to crypto stylist when I think it was Motley or it might have been Super Hex tweeted out saying let's get her to 1,000 subs or 2,000 subs or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look. There's a lot of really good channels. I don't like. The fact that I'm singling out Jim Rats and saying that I really, really, really like his streams.
I like him too.
Is not to discount how amazing all the other streamers are. There's a lot of quality content in this ecosystem.
What I like their approach though. They're coming from a position and especially Sam. He's only just been involved with Hex and crypto very recently, but he's like a sponge, man. He just
I love the way he thinks. I love his passion. Yeah. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all the 133 people that are watching and all the new streamers. Good luck, and the key is to keep the company only with the people who uplift you with their presence and forth for your best. Bring the people in that actually build you up and add value to your life. And Hexagons is a great community. It's we're always sharing, bouncing different ideas. We don't always agree on things, but at least we can have a mature conversation and suss it out. Because, I mean, some of this stuff is hard. This is hard, especially we're in a bear market, and we've had to, like, psychologically, I mean, it's knocked me around. I've got to admit it. Like, it's like when you see your bag go down, like from where it was and from the all-time high. It's even though you know you're staked and you can't touch it anyway. I tell you what.
It's painful, man.
It's
painful.
Yeah, it's I thought
painful.
Try to do the
in the spirit of looking forward. I think we've got some really good things heading our way. We've this chain's about to launch. Where if this is the bottom for HEX or for the market, who knows? But we've seen all liquidity drained out of all the liquidity pools. You get that feeling there's something's about to pop. So I think we've got some really, really good things to look forward to, and that's really what we should be focusing on is building up the community and getting out those positive vibes and all that juju.
Good vibes only.
Yeah.
Well done, Jexer.
Yeah.
I think having those things to look forward to is really good. Oh, another one was people were freaking out. There was a massive stake that was ending, or I don't know whether it was one stake, but there was, when you look at the chart of all the end stakes, there was a day, I think it was like the 28th of this month, that was like, it just towered over all the other days. And so people were fearing that if that person or people decided to dump, it was going to absolutely F the price. And we got through that day and the person either left it liquid holding it or restaked it. I didn't go and look, but the price definitely did not dump. We went up. So we are past that. Like, we are past that fear point now. So that's one less reason to be afraid of holding/buying HEX.
Yep. There's whichever way you look at it, it's been on a big discount this last week. So it's got to take advantage of those times when you can.
Yeah, look, that's another interesting thing I wanted to point out. For people who bought that dip, if you manage to catch the bottom, and it's not that unrealistic, Dozer did. He told me he got 4-cent HEX. From 4 cent to here, that's a 2x. So
nice.
that's a 2x in like a matter of what, like several days. Like, so that's back to
what
like.
happens when. That's
it's
good.
when you've got big balls, when you've got massive balls. It's like you said, it's the luck. What was it? Combination of opportunity and skill, or whatever. Opportunity and prepare.
The opportunity meets luck is what happens when opportunity meets. Also, preparedness meets opportunity. Yeah.
I don't know whether you sort of recall this, but Richard's tweets before they were so many used to be a little bit cryptic. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And just recently, he's been out filling all his shopping bags. Tweeting about that.
Oh, when he's walking down the street with all of those Louis Vuitton and Gucci, where it's that's a. Are you saying it could be like a pack your bags?
Go read it.
Christmas.
Go read it.
I read something into that.
Oh shit! Oh shit! That is a really good point. I didn't think of that.
Just the fact that the liquidity pools are starting to empty. So that's got to be
maybe all of those bags weren't even new purchases. Maybe he just went and grabbed all his old bags and posed for the photo.
Oh no, I'm sure he filled that shit with expensive stuff.
But he's bought so much of that shit. He doesn't need to, right? He'd have all the bags.
There you go. So
he could walk
put
down
up
the
Hex
street
Machines
with, like,
comment, Unwrecked.
Which one?
Hex Machines comment. That was the tweet.
This one?
Nah, from Hex Machine.
Everyone just filled in like a bunch of. Everyone just put all comments at the same time. I didn't see it. Gone all the way back. Oh, filling his bag at the bottom. Where is he gone? Where you going, mate? Can't find it. They got it. Right, gotcha. There we go.
So that was paraphrasing. That was the.
Oh, that's it. Exactly. That's what.
So back in the day, we used to get a lot of cryptic treats from Richard. So
yeah, I shouldn't be too hard on him. He's done a good thing.
Yep,
He's
so
helping people.
Pay attention to those little things. Sometimes there's a little bit more to them.
Also, if you, I think for me personally, not financial advice, but if you look at downside risk, right? When something has come down, capitulated, and then particularly there was someone who pulled all their liquidity out of the LP and sold their HEX that caused that crash down to like sub 3 cent or whatever for a second, where they just dumped a whole shitload of HEX, like a few mil or whatever. And so when you have a capitulation event like that, I was saying it's similar to minor capitulation in Bitcoin. When you have people who were like either people emergency end staking or who were liquidity providers, i.e. profiting off holding HEX, like in a derivative way, like capitulating out and being like, no, I'm out. That is a bottom signal in itself. But even if you ignore that, now we've basically built market structure above those prices. So now we've actually got, we've got support levels, like recent support levels below us. So if you were to do this from a trading perspective where you're like, I'm going to buy some HEX here. If it goes back down anywhere near to those lows, like maybe sub 5 cent, I'll just get out. And I know that's percentage wise, that's still a big haircut, but I think the upside potential compared to the downside risk from this position that we're in right now is solid. Like I think it's a tempting time to be positioning yourself into HEX.
It is indeed. Yep, I know some people. I've been trying to work on them for a couple of weeks, and that it's just slowly. You got to baby steps with noobs. Depending on not all noobs, because I really like some people. I love it when you just show them the thing, you give them all the information, and then they go and figure it out themselves. That's what's supposed to happen. Not come to me and go and sit down and sit with the computer and can you remember your login and type your name here and your password. And then that's before you even get into like decentralized wallets like MetaMask and everything else. It's like they don't know how to get their money into the crypto. They can see that there's an opportunity there, but you just got to be patient and work them through the steps and try not to leave anything out, because I've made some stuff ups helping other people just with HEX, because I like to the point where I had trouble putting MetaMask back on a like a Chromebook because it was so long ago that I did it, and just little tech, like little techie things that you guys are probably all over that we take for granted. Some people don't have that level of I guess they're used to doing different things, not working on a computer all the time. Like probably I spent a good deal of my career, or the back half of my working career in an office environment. But yeah, what are we saying? How are we going for time? We're all out of puff.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything we needed to tonight. I think. Yeah,
I've been ranting. I've been ranting pretty hard.
Thanks for everyone in the chat for joining us and all the comments.
The comments were incredible today. They were really good.
Yeah, it's good. Everyone really. It's good to see everyone contribute and participate in the comments. So we do a really.
Everyone, just be kind. I know I can be kind. I know I practice what I preach, but just be kind to each other and
don't take shit from idiots, but be kind.
Yeah. We don't suffer. I'm not saying suffer fools. I'm just saying,
You guys just reminded me, as my sign out, I want to say that the debate that I did against Bobby G, we're going to do a second one where he wants to talk about Pulse and like a couple of other concerns that he's got. The positive responses that came from the HEX community about that debate is what encouraged him to want to come back on and do it again. Like he was stoked at the positivity that came out of that. Like obviously there were people who were negative about it and were insulting him, but there were more comments that was outweighed by comments that were like, this was really good. Like this was an amazing, like, you know, this is really interesting and really good. And so we're going to be doing like a round 2 of that. And I'm keen. I like the format. I like the format of, you know, like a somewhat adversarial querying or questioning to really keep me on my A game in terms of being forced into a position where rather than me just spouting shit that I know that everyone in the chat is going to agree with, assuming that my comments are pro HEX, this puts me in a position where it's really tests your knowledge. It really, but more than that, it tests my ability to explain it to someone who is like hating, for lack of a better word, in a way that they will either at least concede that I've got a decent point or even turn them around. So, and get them to, so 2 for 2 now, the people that I've debated have both said that they're considering buying HEX. Like the first guy was, I forget, Thrice Hermes, whose Twitter handle was something slightly different. It was Moon Boy, I think it was, or Moon.
Maybe you should have got Legend of the Week. Hey.
Oh, actually, you know what? That actually would probably be worthy of HEX Legend, is turning 2 haters into buyers. That's pretty fucking epic. You know what?
That's what you do.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
You hang on to that youthful enthusiasm.
Thanks,
You'll need it when you're older.
So in that,
mate.
In that vein, when you're dealing with people on Twitter, half the time they're coming from a place of ignorance. So spitting venom doesn't move the conversation forward.
It just confirms that they're right. They're like, yeah, these people are fucked. They're like, I was right. These people are fucked. So yeah, So what I would ask, I don't expect everyone to have the same level of patience. I'm not saying that I have. I'm saying in general. You know, when your mum used to tell you when you're a kid,
I have. It's been over 2 hours since I've had sex.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's probably better to, if your reaction to someone's post is like, you're a fucking clown, it's probably better to just not say anything and allow the Hexagons who do. So, because we will rotate. Like sometimes I won't be fucked, and sometimes I'll be in a mood where I can be fucked to patiently explain things to haters. So as a team, we will.
What haters? I don't see any haters.
We will rotate. Yeah, but you're in the Hex echo chamber. You're in the echo chamber, bro.
Oh, I'm in the bubble wrap.
If you're not seeing haters, you're in the echo chamber. But what I'm saying is, as a team, we can take turns in peacefully and respectfully responding to haters. And if everyone takes the attitude of like, when you're in a mood where you just want to tell them that they're a fucking idiot, if you stay silent in that moment, overall, I think we're going to have a win in converting people.
Yep.
And I will personally also try to be better, because I mean, I like to shit on haters as well, as much as the next guy.
You want to bait them up. So, yeah, that's right. Give them shit. Why not?
So I put a tweet out just saying, look, everyone, just for a couple of weeks, just for 2 weeks even, just try a different tack and see what sort of response you get. Just have a crack.
Especially leading into the Pulse launch. If we could do that as a team, that would be fucking incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems to be the way that when the price is going down, we have all this nonsense, and then when the price is going up, everyone's cheering. So,
you just reminded me of something they said on Technical Roundup that I really, really like. I was like, wait, is that even right? And then I was like, oh my God, they're right. They were like, in crypto, in general, when the price is going up, fundamentals are better as well. You've got more new users, more value being locked up, more people, more positive sentiment, more of it, right? And when the price is going down, all those metrics flip. So, but this is not just, I don't like the price going down, so I'm going to sell. These are actually fundamental metrics that you can point to: user adoption, sentiment, so it is true. So that reflexiveness that Richard Hart talks about, it runs deeper than even Richard was able to articulate. The fundamentals actually move with the price action. So and I'm sure it's a two-way street, right? Like, so if we can keep that positivity going within the Hex community, what's funny, Jackson?
That's it.
They're all going, I thought you guys were going away 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, sorry.
Jabbering on.
No. So many topics came up. So many topics came up that I think were worth talking about in that sprint to the finish.
Be strict on yourself. Be tolerant of others, and respect other people's opinion if it's different from yours. I know that sometimes they just don't get it, and they're a little bit like IQ challenged or whatever. Don't go around saying you got a big dick and a high IQ to people. Like, who does that? I mean, fucking hell. Anyway,
on that note,
we love you, Richie. We love you. On that note, I've got more. I could probably just focus on fixing yourself before you criticize others.
Fucking love you, Richard. Debate me.
Yeah, don't go tangent. He's that could be a really good conversation. You two really think alike, and I think it'd be an excellent opportunity to. But yeah, obviously he's in a place where he's got to get the numbers now, and that's all he cares about. That's fine.
All right, guys.
Until next time.
Okay.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
That was really fun. Thanks, guys.